Right, so this is a little video on how I write words. So I've had quite a lot of people ask me about this. The structure of the script that I developed for the manual, which, I keep telling people is not an historical script, it's a geometric construct, assists me with writing words simply because of how the script is structured. So I go up at 55, down at 55, around the turn, up at 55, down at 55. And once you start using this principle, it creates a much more even structure for writing. It generates a more even distribution of space. One of the biggest problems with writing that a lot of people encounter is they come down and they go across and up. And the problem is this turn and this angle. If you can't repeat the turn and the angle consistently, then the distance between the letters becomes a little bit erratic. So I find you have a baseline and you have an X height. That's why I always tell people to touch both lines. And you have a 55. So if you have these three lines, why not use them? So when I write, so I'm going to write at double the height because of how far the camera is. Down and up and I just made a little mistake there. Now, this gives a really narrow impression of the writing. You can open up these, I call these little pulleys because it's like you're going around lots of little pulleys. You can open up the pulleys. 2 and 2. So, but for all intents and purposes, I'm still staying on those 55s. So, obviously the G goes from here to there. There's a kink and there's another kink. So you just have to be conscious that these strokes are staying on that 55 and they really help you to center the letters. I'm going to write a little bit smaller. And there are a number of other things to consider here. First off, I know what I am doing. You know, when you approach your writing, do you know what you're doing? So I see a lot of people struggle with the letter S. When I do the letter S, I come up, I have a comma, I have weight here, I might have weight here. So all of this is narrow. A lot of people sort of do this. So understanding how the letters work, and obviously you would have seen that I'm actually writing very slowly, and it's very rhythmic. Knowing that you can get even thickness and consistency in the structure of the letters is really important, because by slowing down, you allow the tool time to make the shape. And by writing slower and more consistently, you get more consistent shapes. So by writing slower, allowing yourself to get more consistent shapes, you also allow yourself to get more consistent spacing. And then all of the weights start to resemble each other. You know, obviously you'll never be able to produce all the weights exactly the same, but you should be able to match them up very, very closely. And if you're not able to do that, then the problem isn't just the writing. The problem is that you don't really know what the letters look like. And more importantly, you don't really have the kind of tool control that you need to produce these even consistent shapes. So go back to the shapes, learn how to make these lines properly, learn how to make your swelled strokes properly. You know, where is the weight at the top? Where is the weight at the bottom? Where is the turn? Is the tool facing the right direction? See, you know, it's not guesswork. It's not magic. You really have to work at these kinds of things. You really have to know what you're doing if your aim is to get better consistency and to gain, you know, to get an improvement in the way the letters are produced and the way in which they're written. So I hope that gives you some insight into how I produce my script when I'm writing for Copperplate Script.